Okay, so it's April 18th of 2024. I suppose you could say this is a little introduction. Only because, I'm looking back, thinking back on my videos and, thinking about my character and, my mission in life and what I'd like to see for the world and how I approach being part of the solution versus part of the problem. And, and I'm like, well, over the years, I'd like to think not every video, but quite a few of them come in with new information on the fly. Like, how would you know that dehydrated apples like this, preferably that fall from a tree without being pre-treated before it's sold in a grocery store? Okay, I'm just saying, you can use those ones too, but off the tree is the best, right? But how would we know that? We'll put it at 2014. Honestly, I wasn't dehydrating apples in 2011. Well, maybe I was, because I do have some dehydrated stuff because of Fukushima radiation. That's how it all started. That's what Tisha says. Oh, you weren't as like this until Fukushima radiation showed up. And then you kind of went off on the deep end, Mom, and you never got out of it. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll put it at 14 maybe. 14 or 15. Yeah. So we'll just say 14, 10 years old. Approximately 9 or 10 years old. Even if they were 8 years old people. Like, come on. These are good. And they'll cook really nice in like to use them up, right? Because they're old, right? So if you want to, use them up fast, just make a apple bar with a little bit of date in it or raisins or something in it. That would work. Because they're good, right? So, but we wouldn't have known that unless 8 years or 10 years went by. Just like when I opened up those jars of pickled beets from 2015. I did that, 8 months ago? 7 months ago? I already ate them. They're so good. I want to go get more. They're in my room, right? Might even try and make some this year. We'll see. Just as backup with considering what's going on with me, right? I mean, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know until 10 years go by. So, you read comments on YouTube with the videos, so-and-so was throwing out grandma's canned goods she had in the basement, well, cellar or basement, for 20 years. And, the food looked fine, but, it's 20 years old. Well, not necessarily. It all depends on what it's sitting in. And really, glass is the best. It really, really is, right? Now, that's that beef. I got 12 jars of the beef. It worked out really well the way I did it. And that was on the fly. I just put some water in the pot, turned on the pot, right? Cooked it up brought it to a boil, turned it down, cooked it for about not even 5-10 minutes on a medium boil, right? Low boil, medium low boil. And then I jarred it up. And look at the broth, people. Look at the color of that broth. And then you still have all this on the bottom. So I got 3 jars of the broth, you can see. And all it was just 1.5 teaspoons of salt in all of that. And boy, oh boy, is this ever good. That's what I mean by learning something. You can do it the long way. You can cook it in the oven. You can steep it. You can make broth by making bone broth. There's different ways of doing it. This was just a quick method. And for what it's worth, I'm happy. Because this isn't full of meat, right? This is, quite a bit of broth in here. I cut my finger already. I haven't even started my day, man. I haven't even started my day. I already started cutting my finger on this stupid thing. I couldn't figure out how to put this together. And it doesn't take much, right? So yeah, I did that. So yeah, I didn't want it full because I wanted to save the broth. So, I only filled up the jar loosely like this, eh? So there's a fair amount of broth in there, and you can see I didn't lose much from the headspace. No. So, with that said, I'm like, okay, you're doing something different. Just do a video. Right? Just do a video. It's new information on the fly. Okay, so here's the deal. We know that I had bought sweet potatoes. I finally got around to baking them. They're in the oven. They're in the fridge now. They've been sitting there. Well, I didn't do anything with them yesterday because I just got in and I'm trying to deal with the bedrooms so I can get downstairs, right? Okay. Laundry and whatever, just whatever. I'm moving things around. But I went online, like, you know, talk about triggers. Depression is a trigger. It really is. What gets my dopamines going in my brain is ordering food. Yeah. Mainly. Now, I'm already stretched out this month, but they had tuna at Walmart for 99 cents a can, or 97 cents a can. $1 off per can. I have old tuna all over this house, but in what I've been doing for the last couple of years, I think about 2 years ago or something, I did buy a little bit of tuna, but not very much. And I got that off of Amazon, and honestly, I wasn't very impressed. So anyway, I've been avoiding buying tuna. You know, $2 a can. There's not very much, what is that called? Calorie count in it, blah, blah, blah. So I've been avoiding. Anyway, it came on sale. So that was, you know, in the back of my mind, right? You know how you convince yourself to do something when you technically know you shouldn't. Well, I really should be saving that money for bills. Just saying. I'm already figuring what bill I can maybe not pay or half pay or just put off for a bit before I pay to compensate for what I did yesterday, which was I bought a whole whack of frickin' tuna. Yeah, $70 worth, as a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it. But one of those tunas was, and when they come, they're coming today, so I'll include it into this video and we'll just talk about it briefly, right? Because I bought different kinds, right? I don't know how to pronounce it. It starts with an A-L, something tuna. I guess it's in full piece in the can. That was expensive. It was $4 a can for the same grammage of 170, but it's a different kind of tuna. It comes in a large chunk. And, you know, I want to make sushi and stuff like that, so I was just thinking maybe using that with sushi because it comes out in large chunks, so it would be easier to wrap it up into the rice, right? It's supposed to be a milder tasting fish, but it's higher in mercury. But that was only one article that I read, so I don't know. But people like it. So anyway, I bought 10 cans of that just for that purpose, to try it out, to see. And then the other ones were all at 97 cents, and I bought something like 30 of them. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I got 40 cans of tuna coming in. You see, I buy in bulk, but it gets me into trouble because you end up becoming a big spender, and sometimes you have to go dip a little here and dip a little there so that you can, you know, do what you need to do, or at least think to do what you need to do, right? Because you know I'm conniving, right? And I said, Andre said, well, what are you doing, Nana? Because he sees me on, you know, doing something on Walmart. And I'm like, well, you know, Nana's conspiring here to just, right? He thinks it's funny. I just tell him, like, I don't care what my son and the kids have to say, like Tisha, right, or whatever, right? You know, you just be grateful your mom never drank, man, or collected beer bottles. I mean, I collected books, but seriously, some people do collect beer bottles. I can only imagine collecting beer bottles, right? And then what do you call it? I have to drink the beer first, but that would be the excuse to collect the beer bottles. You know, I'd rather the 40 cans of tuna than the beer bottles. So, you know, but at the end of the day, I mean, after this, I'm not going to buy no tuna. So I'm not too, well, actually, that's not true, because I'm already thinking this sale is on for, I don't know, we'll just say a week, right? Where, you know, I can just put an order in for another $50, get another jug or 2 jugs of milk, because that's really all I need. Maybe a few bananas or something, right? I mean, seriously, like that's where I'm at. I just need to make myself stay there, right? But again, I haven't bought tuna for a long time, so I topped off with the tuna, and then I bought some salmon in a can. For what it's worth, it's easier just to buy it in a can than to try and can it myself, and I already have that around the house. This is just because of what's going on in the economy. It has nothing to do with Fukushima. No. It's beyond Fukushima now. This is something else that we're having to deal with, and I do believe we'll probably, I may not see it. You know, I'd like to be there for my kids and my grandkids if it should come, and that's a war economy, right? Because, no, I don't think that's very, it's not a very happy time, right? So anyway, okay, so now back to the sweet potato. So, because I did the Walmart, I wanted to just, you know, I did get 2 bags of corn. I got 5 bags of the soybean, which I'm going to bake in the oven. I'm going to look up that recipe. I don't know, it's just for half an hour, maybe. I don't know if it's at 250 or 375, but I'll figure it out, right? And I guess you can season them a bit. You bake them, and then you can eat them as snacks, like a peanut, or you can put them in trail mixes. I suppose you could put them in salads, but you have to cook these things first, right? And I already got some dehydrated, so I thought I'd try that. And then I'm going to slice the cooked sweet potato that's been in the fridge for well over 24 hours, okay? This is going into day 2 now, right? So we're at 30, we're at about a day and a half. I'm going to use this, try it first. And I'm only going to fill up 4 trays to start, because I've got other stuff coming, because I bought 2 more big bags of shoestring French fries because they were on sale, right? And then I think I did, now that I'm thinking about it, well, I don't know how many bags of, they're called plank sweet potato, frozen. So I'm assuming that they've already been blanched and they're semi-cooked, right? Because you can eat sweet potato dehydrated raw. So you take raw sweet potato, slice it, and dehydrate it. You can eat it like that as a quote-unquote chip, to which I suppose if your palate was used to that, it would probably be good for you. Like, it would be good to you, right? But if you're not familiar with that and you put that into your mouth, I don't know what it's going to taste like. I really don't. So the idea of baking mine was I just wanted them baked. I felt for myself personally it was better to bake the sweet potato than dehydrate it as a chip. So I'm going to try it. Now I'm debating, and I should try this too. Honestly, this is what this is about. We're trying different things. I should do 2 trays unseasoned, right? And then, I'm only doing 4 right now. And 2 trays, either a little bit of salt, nothing more, nothing less, or maybe a little bit of seasoning salt. I don't want to try and get creative with other spices right now. So I think I'm going to try that, and then we're going to dehydrate them, and we're going to eat them. I wouldn't do it raw. The reason I wouldn't do it personally raw, and it probably has to do with education trumps, I can't even call it common sense, because the education tells me otherwise. And even though they say a potato is different than a sweet potato, because you're not supposed to eat potatoes raw, right? Because of something that's in the potato that needs to be cooked off. Whereas sweet potatoes, their molecule makeup is different, and they don't need to be cooked. But because it grows in the ground, in the dirt, it makes me think of listeria or whatever, or maybe, some other, I don't know. I have a program that talks about that stuff when it comes to food. I need to pull it out, right? But I'm not exactly sure where listeria comes from, but you can get that from lettuce and those kind of things, right? One of the secrets to removing bacteria and that sort of thing is it being dry. The moisture is what spreads and breeds germs. On a dry surface, it's hard, right? There has to be moisture. So if your food is dehydrated, then yeah, I suppose it would kill off any but I think people even cut sweet potato raw and then into little cubes or something and then put it into their salads. At this point, I'm not ready for that. Maybe we'll try that. I'll do some more research on that. But for now, I cooked mine. I'm going to slice enough for 4 trays. I'm going to season. I haven't decided which one I want to try yet. Or maybe I can do one this, one that. Or maybe try that. And then dry. And then whatever I bought from Walmart are already pre-blanched, I would think, because they were frozen. And I don't know if they have seasoning or not, but they probably do. And it doesn't mean it's going to be listed on the package either. Because I bought French fries, and when you open up the French fries, you can smell it when you open it up. But then I think they coat the French fries with a light oil, because the bag, everything's greasy, right? So dehydrate your French fries, and then at some point, when you go to switch them around or something, right, after they're almost dry, put them on some paper towel and continue drying for a little while, so that if there's any oil in there, it will absorb into the paper towel, even if it's a little bit. And then after, they actually do dehydrate really good. So much so that I'm doing it again, right? So much so that I'm doing it again. Because in my mind, I'm conspiring. Don't forget, I'm a woman. I like to conspire. For woman things, that is. Right? Oh my God. It hurts to move, people. Oh, I've been bending, lifting, you don't even know. Oh, it's too much. It's too much, but yet I'm still creating work for myself. Go figure, eh? But they were on sale. They were on sale. So this one, I don't know what size it is. What do we got? I got 3 different kind right now, right? I know I got 2 bags of the shoestrings. This looks like the shoestrings. Do you see it? And it smells like potatoes, but there's a stronger scent to it because they added something to the potatoes as they were freezing them. Whether that's the oil, seasoning, I don't know. Whereas if you blanch and then dehydrate, you're not going to have no flavor. Now, whether that plays a factor in terms of cooking, I don't know. And then, because I'm doing things, I'm always doing something. Oh my God. I'm trying to make room in the playroom, so I'm taking stuff out as much as I can. And I took this out. Look at that. Isn't that nice? It's like spanking new. Yeah. That's a deep fryer. So I'm going to experiment with these after they're done. Fucking moth, man. Oh. I'm going to experiment with these after I'm done pretty much doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to eventually hydrate absorb the moisture. Maybe after it hydrates, take it out, put it on a paper towel or a clean cloth. It's just, those very fine cotton type, right? And then just let the moisture absorb into the fabric and then deep fry. Okay? Or I'm going to try and deep fry as is without doing anything with them and just see what happens. Because I'm trying to make nuts and bolts, right? Snack. So if I can find a way to add that to that mixture with everything else that's in there, or change it up, then that's the way I'm going to do it. And then these ones, well, they kind of look the same, but either or. And then of course we've got the hash brown ones too, right? So I just ordered 2 big bags that were on sale for the better price of everything. Of the shoestrings, I got some bags of the sweet potato. They call them in planks. So I'm going to dehydrate mine, dehydrate theirs after they unthaw, and I'm going to compare the 2 differences and see which I like. Or maybe I'll like both, maybe I won't like any. And even if I didn't like them, I can still, I'm hoping to vacuum seal these ones, honestly. I don't want to put them in a jar because they're going to be, you don't fit much in when they're slices. That's why I like to do stuff like that. You get more in the jar. And those, when they swell up, will retain their shape. Because when I was chewing them, okay, when we moved them around, you could hear them. They sounded crunchy, but when I put them in my mouth, no, they were leathery, like not leathery, but like a dehydrated apple would be that's been around for a while. Like they're gummy, they're not gummy, but they're, I don't know, you know how it is. It's really high with the high sugar content. It's very high to dehydrate an apple extremely dry, and then even then, it's gonna mellow out, right? Like a marshmallow. It kind of has like a texture of a little bit of a marshmallow, right? But not so gummy. Anyway, that's why I like to put in little pieces, because you get more. But with the planks, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to see how they dehydrate. And then I'm probably going to, because I'm going to be getting into vacuum sealing here for my last little bout of the wheat and the beans that I bought, because they're sitting in the boxes over there and I have to get into them and put them away, right? And actually, that's not true. I really do want to buy some more buckets with gamma lids. Oh, it just makes life so much easier. But this time around, I don't think so. I'm just going to vacuum seal like the good old days, put the stuff in paper bags, and then vacuum seal and just put it away that way for a while. Put them in Rubbermaid bins or something, who knows. And so I'd like to see if I can vacuum seal these things after the fact. The problem with sweet potato, though, is they don't, you could be drying for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. But I suppose it depends, because when you cook a sweet potato, okay, hold on a minute. Eating a raw sweet potato, you get certain kind of nutrients that you otherwise wouldn't get if they were cooked. But I think it's easier to digest the sweet potato cooked than it is raw. because when you cook a sweet potato, it changes its molecules, right? Something changes in it. Still nutritional, but something changes in it. And that's the benefit to eating sweet potato raw. And it just so happens, I guess, like a carrot. If you can eat a carrot that's raw, that's grown in the ground, and not worry about basically getting sick, unless, of course, it got infected with a bacteria like listeria. I don't know. I think listeria is a bacteria, right? I don't think it's a germ. I think it's a bacteria. Well, I suppose both germ, bacteria. That usually comes from the manufacturing plant or from the farms itself. Like, if you grow apple trees... Oh my God, what's bouncing around out there? If you grow apple trees where there's a problem with feces, the roots in the ground suck up the feces, bacteria, I suppose. It's the bacteria, right? And then it can potentially infect the apples with E. coli. Same thing with the lettuce fields and stuff like that. Like in Texas, when, with these individuals crossing over the border illegally and then, cutting through farmers' land and fields and cornfields and all that other crap, right? If they start pooping in the fields and then that poop starts to accumulate to the point where, it can infect the corn with E. coli. Right? So, the chances of that happening are pretty slim. How often do we get a recall on carrots? I don't know. I don't know. It's not anything that stands out in my mind. So the same would be true for raw sweet potato. So, raw sweet potato is still on the menu. We just haven't figured out how we're going to incorporate it into our diet yet. However, if I had to choose between chomping on a big piece of sweet potato or perhaps maybe having them in little shreds, a little bigger than that, right? Or something over a salad, then yeah, I suppose that would work, right? Unless, of course, you like them in bigger bites because you really like them, right? So that's what we're working on, sweet potatoes. And I thought I'd bring you on my journey. Yeah. And then once it's done, in terms of this stuff, then we'll get into the cooking, hopefully. I still got lots of things to do. It's hard to go out, work in the yard, deal with everything else that I got to deal with. Whatever it is, right? And then start cooking. So I can't, there's no promises. But Andre will be cooking. He's like, I need a rice cooker, Nana. And I'm like, yeah, well, you don't know how this thing is supposed to have this HelloFresh. It's supposed to have directions. So do they tell people how to cook the rice, or do they just say cook the rice? We'll see. I told him he can make it on the stove too. But we'll see. We'll see what they give us, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to come back and I guess show you how the sweet potato is slicing cold after being in the fridge for basically a day and a half. And it's going to take me a few days to do it. So I'm just going to do 4 trays at a time for now. And then we'll just see how long it takes. And because these are very thin, and this is a new motor on the dehydrator, it should work like pretty fast. So hold on. Okay, so I'm now in the process here of doing this. So far, the mandolin didn't work. The width of it was too small, and I don't got time to be fooling around. Can you see? And so what I'm doing is I'm taking a knife and I'm cutting it. I'm finding the knife with just a little bit of an edge on it. Seems to be working pretty good. And you can see this is kind of thick, but look how nice that is, right? And this is, I don't know, this is not, I like the orange ones, they're sweeter. These ones aren't as sweet, but either or, that's fine. This one would be nice, I think, to use the seasoning salt on, honestly. And then I've got some thinner ones. I'm trying to be, you know, I can't see very well, right? So those ones are a little thinner, right? So I only got a couple of those, and then the rest are the orange ones, right? So I'm gonna do 4 trays at a time, and then just pick away at it. So hold on a minute. Okay, so this is working out here pretty good in terms of, you could even put these on a cookie sheet, right? That are, you know, I don't, easy to see that, right? These ones here were old. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I'm going to put seasoning salt on these ones. But as I'm doing this, oh my God, I can't talk over this dude. We're not offering some wonderful la-la land like the left and the communists and the fascists do, but we're saying a world based on families and God and country and hard work and truth. You could bake these in the oven, like on a low dehydrate bake kind of situation. You don't have to use a dehydrator with them. And if you were going to eat them like right away, you could bake them. You could do it on low heat, or you could even do it on high heat with a little bit of oil where it's kind of sizzling. Oh man, that'd be good after you rehydrated them. Or if you were to do them just straight up like this and then eat them when they were done and make enough for a couple of days. Would you have to refrigerate after the fact? I don't know. What do you think? Probably not. Especially if they were crispy. Right? If they're crispy, yeah, no, you wouldn't have to. They'd stay out for a little while. This one is spoiling on the inside, it looks like. Maybe. Just a few pieces here and there. Ugh. Okay. So anyway, I'm not going to stress you out. So this is what I'm doing. If you see, now, as I'm doing this, I'm like, well, you know, if you were doing this in the oven, you would just, but you wanna season them on both sides though. That's the thing, right? So that's why I'm kind of doing it this way. So I'm cutting on this, and I'm seasoning on here, right? So this is where I can't see. All right, so I'm going to season it up just a little bit, and then I'm going to pat it in, okay? And then as it cooks, obviously the moisture is going to start to, like, it's going to start to swell because, you know, things are warming up, right? And then flip them over and do the same thing on the other side. And you can either put them on, look at how flimsy these trays are. I am so mad. Look at that, that's so pathetic. these things are not going to hold up. So you're almost having to use these things. I mean, you can use that tray without this for very fine things, but I wouldn't use it anything like for this stuff, because when this stuff starts to, especially if you're doing it all mushed up and whatever, or larger pieces, it tends to stick to those trays. So anyway, I don't want to waste the seasoning salt, so I'm doing it this way. And if it was you could do this in a nice baking sheet, to which maybe one day I'll try it, but I don't have time for that right now. Okay? That would be good. And it's nothing to cook them in the oven, put them in the fridge, and then you can use them as you need them. Right? Okay? I think I got them all. And then do the same thing on the other side. I just hope I'm not putting too much. Yeah. Some of it will fall off, but you want it to get inside the flesh. Especially these white ones, right? These creamy looking ones, right? These other ones, those orange ones, they're more, they're more sweeter, so I don't know. Maybe just a tad bit of salt might be good, or just leave it by itself. And then, after you've done that, you can, if it's on a baking tray, put it in the oven with a bit of oil so it's kind of sizzling, right? And you can do one of two things. You can do it at 250 for a long time, as if you were rendering lard. As a matter of fact, honestly, you could use tallow, beef tallow, which is beef lard. Oh man, that would be so good. I have that because I did that. I made that, right? Better be where it's supposed to be. It's in the freezer downstairs. Took a lot of time to render that fat. I wanted to use it for pastry, for, beef pot pie, chicken pot pie, those kind of things, right? I just haven't had a chance yet. But you could use, as a matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can grab a jar, keep it handy, put it in my freezer. A tablespoon or 3, right? 2, 3, whatever, right? Just enough. And you could cook them in the oven either at 250, as if you were rendering lard, and just let it sizzle and do whatever it does and dry it out a bit, or you can maybe keep it moist, or you could probably bring it up into the 400s, maybe 375, 425. I don't know. You'd have to try it. But that would be so good. You could use beef tallow. You could be using lard that you made for yourself, rendered bacon lard. You could use Crisco. You could use Crisco lard, right? You could use ghee. Frick, you could even use butter, for crying out loud. Or margarine. Any kind of oil. Olive oil on low though, right? Peanut oil, that'd be good. Don't you think? I do. So this way, now I'm doing it this way. Right? So they're already pre-seasoned. So when they're dry, what I'm hoping for is they won't curl up too much on me, and they'll dry. See, I'm a little nervous to be drying them. This one's thicker. So we're just going to leave that there. We're going to try it out, right? See if they're thick or what they're like. See how fast they dry out. See, right? Because the orange ones tend to be more sugary. These ones are more drier, so these ones might be better suited. Because if they curl too much on me, I don't even know if vacuum sealing them is the right thing, to be honest with you. Vacuum sealing doesn't take out all the oxygen, but it does help to preserve the food. And then, I don't know about this one. This one seems to be kind of compromised. Right, so you can see. Right. So hold on a minute. You know what I was just thinking? As I'm doing this? Why couldn't you use molasses, a little bit, with some brown sugar, of any kind, really, and mix up a little something between the two of them. You wouldn't use a lot of molasses, just a little bit, right? And you can, you know, the brown sugar is crystallized a little bit, right? To some degree or another, depending on what type you use. And then just pat them in, or rub it, or take a, what is that called? You know, those little brushes. I like the ones that are made out of horsehairs. I don't like the silicone ones. And maybe just brush it on, right? You'd probably have to dilute it with the molasses. Or you could do brown sugar and honey. Just instead of using seasoning salt. Especially for the more sweeter ones. Really? What do you think? And you could do the same thing. You can dehydrate or bake, whichever you prefer. I'm going to end up trying both at some point, because I refuse to buy chips these days. Nope. They're charging $5 for a little teeny bag of chips. They say it's $3.77 on sale, as if you'll buy. Right? No. I like chips, but I'm going to be making my own chips. Yeah. And maybe these things too. I don't know how well these things would deep fry. But I just wanted to say that, right? Okay, so there's the 4 trays. The 3 on the bottom are seasoned with your High's seasoning salt. I really like that. On both sides lightly, right? Hopefully. And then this one's unseasoned. And then we're just going to see what happens. Hold on.
What's going on? Can you smell it? Can you smell it? Huh? Oh, that smells so good. Thank you so much. And thank you. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Yeah.
You guys have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Oh, for sure. The yard loves you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, see, look. You see? There's the truck. Yeah. Man is happy. Look at that mulch.
Now where am I supposed to put that hole?
Just turn it on and say, look what we
I
got.
already did. It's already on.
Oh, well, tell them what happened. They were cutting a tree down the road. Tell the story.
Okay, people, so they were cutting a tree down the road over there.
Yeah.
You can see it. I'm pretty sure.
What did I do?
You asked.
If they could help with the grapevine.
Ah, and why'd they say?
No, because they only got booked to cut down the one tree and trim it down from the power line.
Ah.
And then what? Then what happened?
Then you asked them for if they can drop off all this?
Huh?
To
I
drop
asked them
off.
if I could have the mulch. And they said they had to talk to the big guy up on the tree. And then they talked to the big guy. And then they delivered it to us.
And we got back just in the nick of time.
And we got back just in the nick of time. And there's the company, Right Way Tree Services. Do you see that, people? RITEWAY Tree Services. And then there's a phone number. I'll put it in my description box. Yeah. Yeah, they're located in Langley, but we're in Surrey, so they go all over the place. Yeah. There's Amari. Why we got big ass dump trucks driving down there? I thought all that work was done.
No, it's not.
Zoom in on their their logo on their car.
I did. They have the phone number on there.
Huh?
They got the phone number on there.
Yeah, zoom in and hold it for a minute so people can see it. Okay? And then you can say, hey, thank you. Oh boy. And does it ever smell good? Let's go smell it. Let's go smell it. Come on. Come on. Let's go smell it. Come on, let's go see. Oh my. No. Can you smell it, Amari?
It actually smells really good.
It does.
Reminds me of,
Zoom in
it
closer.
reminds me of a tea.
Look at this. Look how nice this is. Oh my God. Say thank you, Lord. That's where you got God working with you. Oh my God. So nice. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here, put it on the mulch. Look at this. Thank you so much. We're in our glory. God bless ya. And everything that's good. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Do you see it? Does it smell good? Does it smell good? What is that?
It does
Oh,
smell really good. It smells
what
like,
is that?
It smells like tea.
Yes, it does. Oh my God. Hey, what is that? Amari likes it. He says, I like it. I like it, Nana. Oh, that's good stuff. But we don't want you poking your hands.
Yeah.
No, you don't have gloves. Huh? Okay. Front door's open.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank
good day.
you. Oh. All right, let's go.
Well, you're happy.
Look at you. He's getting big, people. Oh, he's so heavy. You don't even know.
Well, you're in your glory right now.
Huh?
You're in your glory.
Yeah, I sure am. Oh yeah, what a great way to go out. Okay, we can get my wallet.
2 bags for $238, assuming they gave me everything I wanted.
I don't know yet.
Okay. Okay. This not talking to my son never works for very long. If it's not food breaking the ice, it was a birthday. I mean, what mother wouldn't say happy birthday to their son if they happened to see him on their birthday? So I was kind of obligated as a mother, I suppose you could say. Being that I pushed him out, right? It was an hour long of pushing, and oh boy, he was 9 pounds, big baby, biggest one out of the lot. Yeah. It burned, and it felt like I was pushing out a watermelon. Oh. Anyway, I just want to say that, well, a couple of things. Since I'm talking about my son, and I guess you could say we're quote-unquote talking, he's taking Andre now camping with his little friend. Andre's little friend, if his friend is allowed to go. Because it's something they planned a long time ago, right? Andre says, can I go? I really want to go. I said, well, I can't really stop you. It's not like it's, it's a positive thing, right? And then my son's going to take him to the dentist and get him the first checkup. Because I was going to ask him to do that before all that crap happened. And, pay, right? Budget it out, right? That's what I'm going to be doing for the next 6 months, is paying out $300-400 a month for Andre's teeth. More than likely. All right. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. It depends. All right. So I did thank him for, I told him, like, I'll pay you back, right? Not now, but I'll budget it in. He's just going for a general checkup and just to figure out where we're at with things. So that's good. And then from there, because it's too hard for me, people. I took Amari out today. What the little umbrella stroller, he broke it. He's too big for it. It bent. So then we had to bring the old faithful one from the garage out, right? Yeah. And he, I'm carrying him, and he's grabbing things. And I'm like, holy crumb, Amari. You always got your Nana on her toes. Right? You ain't flipping off the couch as a bouncing baby. You know, he's hanging off, grabbing, and, you know, he's doing this and grabbing, and, oh my God. And now he's, like, grabbing, and... I don't know what it is with Walmart. The other thing is, I don't know what it is with freaking Walmart here. You know, they charge me for bags, but they're hardly putting anything in these paper bags. Like, I want to show you. But what do they got in here? Like, they had, like, a box of... I want to show you what I bought. A box of this. This is chamomile tea that I'm going to make for Amari with some juice, right? To help calm him, like, his muscles and stuff, right? So I bought that one. I have another bag over there that it's in leaf form, but... And then I bought a whole bunch of these little things. I'm going to try them out, right? Right now I'm just bringing everything out. But I get so many of these paper bags now that I think I'm just going to, as I'm out and about doing whatever I'm doing with the kids in the yard, or whatever I'm doing in the yard, I'm going to make paper. Specialty paper. Because I got all this paper. Oh, I got so many of these brown paper bags you don't even know. Some of them are okay. Some of them are starting to get a little ripped because they stapled them, right? See? Oh my God. Oh, I don't like this. I'm not ordering this one again. Look at this. What is this? It was 97 cents. Yeah. And it has olive oil in it. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Never mind that again. No. I am going to reorder the tuna, though. No pull tabs. I mean, obviously cans are compromised these days, so it's a hit and miss. But outside of that, you know, I showed you that one can that was from 2014. Opened it up and ate it, and it was really, really good. And that was just within the last 6 months I did that, right? It's on one of my videos. So I'm just going to put these away for a while. And of course get into all the other ones first. Right. I thought I'd try this in olive oil tuna, and it's only 80 grams versus 100 and so-called 70 grams. But it's a higher calorie count because of the olive oil. But if you really wanted olive oil, you could drain this of the water and then put it in with olive oil and gently move it around with a fork just to break it up so that the oil can seep into the inside of the fish, or pour it right over or whatever. Put it in the fridge, let it sit like that overnight, and you'll have instant olive oil, and you'll have more money, more for your money. You can definitely see the difference. But I thought I'd try it, but I'm not ordering this again because, first of all, I don't even like this. I don't even know what the hell this is. What is this? Hold on a minute. Okay, so I guess this is my little grocery haul here. So the popcorn came in, and so did the whole groat oats, and that's it. I'm not doing none of that stuff until maybe at the end of fall. We'll see. We'll see what's available in terms of like a durum wheat that would be good for pasta or something like that, right? We'll see. We'll see how much we're starting to use what I have before I, right? Okay. So other than that, I don't need wheat. I don't need beans. I don't need rice. I'm good, right? Obviously, I'm still canning a little bit of beef products, right? Turkey. I did the turkey just because it's kind of like a comfort food. and I have no regrets with that. I have no interest in chicken unless, of course, it was like a really good price. But as it is, I'm not interested in it. Beef, well, I'm always open to the beef just because it's so expensive at $5.99 a pound versus $12.99 a pound. Like, you know, they're even selling lean ground hamburger between these stores at $8.99 a pound now. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know, I'm grinding my own, right? And I'm freezing my own little burgers at $5.99 a pound. And I had that little bit of meat come in at $1 a pound. So, you know, that was once in a, you know, blue moon. I've never had that happen to me before, but okay. So anyway, I am going to order the tuna again, but I'm not going to order those little things. Where did they go? I'm not, I thought I'd try this. I didn't know what to expect when I bought it, but these are not going away for long-term food storage. I am going to use these up like within the next couple of months. I'm going to try and see, just because of this. It wasn't the size per se, although that's pretty small. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could go off somewhere in Surrey and find fresh tuna somewhere. If I looked hard enough, I probably could find it. Maybe at T&T or a place like that. And can it myself in my own salmon jars with oil if I really wanted to, right? I might, but I'd never buy them like this again. No. That's a pull tab of some kind, and it's not stable. Look what's happening. Do you see the indentation? Do you see that? I'm hardly putting any pressure on it. So, for as tasty as it sounds, to me, it is inferior because of the packaging, in my opinion. Right? But it's high in calories only because of the olive oil. To which, like I said, if I want olive oil in my tuna, what I would do then in this situation is I'd just open up a regular can, whether it's from 2014 or whether it's from 2024, and what do you call it? Drain the water, put it in a bowl, take a fork and just kind of move it around a little bit, and then just sprinkle on a tablespoon or 2 or 3 of my favorite olive oil. And I'd put it in the fridge and let it seep in, and there you go. Problem solved. You got those extra calories. Because that's the only reason I bought it, was for the calorie count, not because I was craving tuna with olive oil in it. But I'm not impressed with the packaging. If it was a can that I could open up, then maybe I'd do it again, but I'm not doing it again. But I will try and feed some of this to Amari, and I'll put it in salad for Andre and I. Okay, so I got 10 of those, and we know I'm not buying those again. And they're not going into long-term food storage. Okay, they were 97 cents each, so for what it was worth. Okay, now I have been buying sockeyed salmon for a while now, but they're running out, people. I already did the pink salmon run when I did the big can run for a few months, and that was what, 6, 7, 8 months ago, something like that. So I just got the larger pink salmon clover leaf. I got 10 more, and I'm okay for pink salmon. I'm not worried about pink salmon. I'm going for the more nutritional salmon in terms of, you know, here the potassium is 4%, calcium is 6%, iron at 1%, and then they've got the vitamin D with the sockeye. That's what's attracting me, right? At 55%. And then they've got the selenium or whatever it is at 31%. Now, I can't get it with low sodium outside of 4 cans because they ran out. But I have 10 other cans, so I was going to order 10 more, but they ran out of this too, right? And they ran out of the clover leaf, just regular sockeye. I like the clover leaf because it has a higher count with the vitamin D and the selenium, right? That's why I've been buying it. And also, too, gonna make sushi with it. More than anything. And maybe other things as well. Bean burgers, whatever. We'll figure it out. So I thought I'd cheat and try and get, snag in a few more cans just at, with the low sodium. But they're running out of that, too. So, this is things that you need to factor in. And this is not just in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. There's this kind of situation going on in different places in the United States where the canned proteins aisles are shrinking and getting smaller and not as robust and abundant as it used to be. Well, it's like that here in Surrey. It's a hit and miss what you're going to find. Okay? And then, so I only got 4 cans there. I ordered 10, but I got 4. But so that's okay. I'll find more another day. Now this one here is, I'm assuming it's a solid piece of, said solid, so it's a solid piece of tuna in it, as if I was canning them for myself maybe. It's a different kind of tuna. Right? And this one here, I bought it again for the nutrients. Also, too, I figured it would be easier to use it for sushi, right? But more than anything, now this is $4 a can. This is $5 a can. That's the sockeye. This did not go on sale, but for $4 a can, whatever. You only need so many cans. Eventually you just stop buying them. Right, so here we got the potassium at 3%, the iron at 1%, then we've got the vitamin D at 15%, and then the selenium, because of this type of fish, went up to 69%. So I'm like, okay, that's all right. There's really not that much calories in it. It's only 60 calories per half a can, which is 55 grams. This is supposedly, I can't read it. 1 can, 65 grams drained. So approximately, right? Approximately almost the same. In terms of, this is 55, you get 60 calories. This one's 55, you get 60. This one is 55 grams and you get 60 calories on 55 grams with zero little fat. I don't know what the fat content, but it's hardly anything, right? And then with this one at 65 grams with it being drained, so I would drink the olive oil. I mean, that's kind of where your calories are coming from, right? I'd mix it in with whatever I was doing anyway. So, and then because of that, it's 150 calories. So just with the olive oil, you're getting 90 calories more, basically. Unless, of course, well, yeah, it's a solid light tuna. It's the same. It's probably, I don't know what the tuna is, but it's probably a similar type of tuna. Yeah, skipjack. This is a skipjack too. So the only thing that's giving you the calories is the olive oil. So you can cheat. If you want olive oil, instead of buying it like this, you know, just buy it like this and drain it and put some olive oil in there, put it in the fridge, let it seep for the night, and add some salt or whatever you want, and you're good to go. Okay? But because this one is higher in the vitamin D and the selenium, and it's in chunk form, I'm willing to pay $4 a can because I want sushi and I want the extra nutrients. Whether I put it with olive oil or not remains to be seen. So I bought 10 of those, and I'm going to reorder them. I don't really want to, because I'm like past my budget. I'm kind of like sticking my neck out again as usual. But like, you know, when my son said, when I found out he was going to take Andre to the dentist, you know, I phoned my son. I said, okay, well, you know, I can't budget it in this month. I was going to, right? But then Andre wanted me to buy the popcorn, and you know, I did the $200 donation to Uganda, and then I got depressed, and then I bought this, and I'm still depressed. I've been depressed. Like, seriously, it's so good. It's just such a... I have beer that's sitting in my hall, out by my front door, that I've had for like 3 years sitting in my bedroom. I don't want to put it on the road because I don't want some teenager to walk by and start drinking it, or some kid or something. Because I'm not going to drink it. Although I'm thinking to keep it to make irwishkas, which is a Ukrainian pastry, because you can mix it in with beer. Or I suppose I could Google a recipe online, just say beer recipe, right, with food, and maybe something will come up, and maybe I'll use it for that. But other than that, I can't afford to get whacked back. You know, I get a little happy, and everybody wants to take advantage of me because they think I'm happy and a little tipsy, and then, you know, I'm bagged for like 2-3 days. Ugh, I don't want that. So anyway, I've been avoiding buying tuna because I'm not paying $2 a can, but I don't mind paying $1 a can. That's 10 cans for $10. I know it will sit for a long time, as long as the cans don't buckle, and so far they seem to be somewhat okay. Same thing with the cans that are coming in with the salmon. These are not pull tab. If they were pull tab, I wouldn't buy them. I just wouldn't. No. It's bad enough I got whatever I got with pull tabs around the house. I try and avoid them by all means necessary. Okay, so this one is a skipjack, just right, and it's I got the flake light tuna, I got the chunk light tuna, right, and then for a half a cup, again, you're looking at 60 calories, whatever, and then here we've got, oh my lord, potassium 2%. Iron 2%, vitamin D 3%. Do you see how that dropped? But the selenium is still pretty high. It's 47%. No pull tab. It will sit for years and years and years and years and years. As long as wherever you've got them stored is fairly regularly. You don't want to put them someplace in the garage where they're going to freeze. But if they freeze and unthaw, as long as the can is not bulging, you can still eat, and you can still eat what's inside of it. It's just you may have a little more tinny taste, especially with fruit. But I'm not storing mine in a garage, so I'm not worried about it freezing. All right, so we got 10 of those. And I'm reordering those. I'm reordering the albacore in solid chunks. 10 more. I'm ordering the flake light tuna, 10 more in water. The other one is in water. And then, of course, this one here, which is the chunk, which you could use for sushi. This is a chunk one. Right? Skipjack and water. That's your standard fish. With the same amount of nutrients in it. $1 a can, so that's 10 more, right? So that's like 30 cans right there. And then including these ones, that was 40. So with my first order, I ordered 40. But with my second order, I'm just going to order those 3 that I just showed you, and I'm going to not order this no more. And I can't order... I can take a chance with Great Value sockeye. But I have been going with the brand name. In part because with the ingredients, when you read the ingredients on the brand name, I mean, this is coming directly from a fish factory. Because they only list the 2 ingredients. Right? It will be just red sockeye salmon. They don't even list the salt on this one because this one's low on sodium. The regular one, you see, this one's low on sodium. I didn't buy it because it was low on sodium. I just wanted the sockeye. Whereas the other ones will list just sockeye and salt. If you look on Great Value, you know, through their whatever, as you're purchasing, you can find the ingredients and you can find the, you know, the nutritional value and whatnot. On their ingredients, it says, well, it may have this and that and blah and blah and blah and blah. And I'm like, well, obviously, you know, they're manufacturing it in a plant that does many things at one time. And, you know, so, you know, it's just, I just feel that these cans are still a little better, right? Because I'm putting these away, well, yeah, for the most part, I'm putting these away. My son will inherit them. Right along with Andre and Amari. Probably. Unless, of course, we were really getting into the sushi and just chowing down. And I'm going through my little stash. Okay, so we know what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to get another 30 more cans of the 3 things that I just showed you. 20 of them are $1 each versus $2. So I saved myself 20 bucks there. Whereas the other one is $4, but I'm okay with that because I'm paying $5 for this because I don't have to can it myself. I don't have to can it. I don't mind canning, but there comes a time when I do like it this way. All right. And then, they had Tetley tea on sale. Okay. So I kind of stocked up on it to try it out with Amari, to, like, with the chamomile. Like, I bought this one. Now, I do have a bag on my table over there, but either or, these ones are in sachets. And this is to help with, you know, relaxing and go to sleep and muscles and whatever. So I am going to try and figure out a way how I can introduce some of this. And I have spoken to a doctor through, like, with the tone, right? Because I don't medicate them with that drug that they wanted me to medicate them with. Despite what they say in terms of it's safe, either or, you know, it would be a lifelong kind of, because it attaches itself to certain parts of the brain where, you know, it's because when I spoke to the doctor on the phone, the one that prescribed it, you know, I told him that I've looked up the product or any type of product like that, and, you know, there's the potential for more seizures, there's coma, you know, they become listless, you know, they're not aware as much as they would be if they were being medicated with it. And, you know, he's active, he doesn't complain. I mean, he's always going to be Amari, right? He's adapted to his situation, and, you know, I like him alert and right and being naughty, and yeah. And then I said, you know, I really just want to, like, maybe try more massage with magnesium oil or whatever, and try and, you know, bring in the chamomile tea. But I'd have to mix it in with his juice maybe, or I don't know if he'd drink it with just honey. I won't know until I really try it. So I'm making it convenient for myself to do this. It's right here. Right, so I bought that. That was $9, okay? But because they had Tetley tea on sale, I thought I'd pick up a few of these. There's the same kind of idea, right? So I only got 4 of these, because there's not that many in there. Now, the thing about this stuff is it is sealed. So technically, in a cool, dark place, which is going to go into my bedroom, in a box, protected in a box, right? Or something, it should last a very long time. Like, I'm not worried about it spoiling, let's just put it that way. They had all kinds to choose from. And, like, you know, I thought I tried this one. I only bought one of these. It's a berry burst, to see how Amari responds to it, right? With vitamin B6. So I bought one of those. 4 of these ones. And then they have the peach, ginger, and dandelion with vitamin B6. I figured I could sneak in this one because of the peach, right? With, you know, the peach, right? And plus, I've got peach drinks, peach mango or whatever. So even if I go half and half tea, half peach mango drink, that he'd probably drink that, right? So that's good. So I got five of those, I think, or maybe 4. Looks like I only got 4. I'm gonna try it first, right? See if he likes it. See if I can get him to actually drink them. But this one I did pick up on. Apple, cinnamon, and turmeric with vitamin C, and I bought it for the vitamin C because you can't overdose on vitamin C, right? So, and I figured with the apple he'd probably like that with the cinnamon, and if it looks like it works. If it looks like it works, you know, I don't know. I'll eventually experiment more with it. I thought I got a green tea, but it doesn't look like I did. Either or, I picked up a few of those only because they were on sale, and I do want to experiment with Amari. And then I was going to buy some vinegar, but I got some, so I'm going to wait on that one for a while. But I wanted to put some away. I do have some downstairs, but they're hard to get to. But I wanted something in glass, right? So these were cheap. They were only like $2.57, and you get nice glass. This is just a rice vinegar, right? And I bought 5 bottles at $2.57 a bottle, so I'm going to buy 5 more because I just Googled it. I'm not nobody special here. I'm not an encyclopedia. But in terms of like long-term food storage, it can sit in a bottle in a cool, dark place for most brands. I'm not going to say all brands because that's what they said on Google, right? The articles, I read 2 articles, right? For the most part, this can sit for 8 to 10 years unopened. That's what you want. That's why you want to avoid plastic. Because if it sat in plastic for 8 to 10 years, the plastic's going to do that, right? and you know it's gonna just deteriorate. Where this sits, so if you're gonna stock up on soy sauce, seasonings, Worcestershire sauce, well they always sell Worcestershire sauce in the dark brown bottles, right? Okay, and because we're gonna be doing sushi a lot, that's what I'm. And that's another thing downstairs in my food storage area that I'm just ignoring right now, that got moved around and who knows what. There is a little bin. Oh boy, because my back is killing me. You seen that, eh? My foot. I'm on my feet. I've been lifting and bending and everything hurts. Right? So I went out for a walk. I had to get some money from the bank and for the tipping, right? And then just whatever. Either or. That's why I'm rocking, because my back is sore. Anyway, and you make pickles and you can stir fry, whatever. So I'm going to pick up 5 more just because. And then when we start using it, and I see we're using it, that's when I'll stock up a little more, feeling comfortable that wherever I put it, it can sit for a long, long, long time. And then, okay, so we got that. So we got the McCain French fries. This is how I do it. Just let them unthaw. Let them unthaw. They're almost ready to go into the dehydrator. It doesn't take much. They smell like potatoes. They look like potatoes. They dehydrate really well. At some point, though, through that process, I'd put them, like, when they're practically dry, like getting near the end, take them and move, throw them in and put them on a paper towel so that if there is any oil for any reason, the paper towel will absorb it to some degree or another. But it's not like a lot, right? Just as backup, right? So that was on sale. That's 1.5 kg, which is a lot. For, I don't know, $6.50 versus $8.99. If it was at $8.99, I wouldn't buy it. But because it was on sale and I'm just, I want to get this stuff done with and be done with it and not worry about it for a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, depending on what it is, I thought I'd just do it and get it over with, right? So those are going in the dehydrator, right? We know what I did already, what's in the dehydrator right now, right? And then, I'll have to bring up that little one and put it over here. And then there's these ones. So I got 2 packets of the shoestring French fries, and I got 5 of these. And these were, I think these were on sale too, honestly. And if they are, I should buy some more, honestly. Okay, honestly, I should. Because if you're looking for a food with a lot of calories and a lot of nutrients, sweet potato is the way to go. I'm telling you. Okay? I'm telling you. Yeah. So in this situation, we're going to open it up now because I would never buy anything like this. Never did. But because I'm thinking of the kids trying to figure out snacks, this will go into the snacks. Or if I want to cook, I'll cook. So first we're just going to pull one out. And we're going to look at it. This is what it is. Now I don't know what they did. I'm assuming they would have had to blanch them, don't you think? Because look at the color. They probably blanched them and then flash freeze them. They're good. There's flavoring on them though. We would eat them just like this. Oh my God. That's so good. So, after it's dry, you could just eat them, crunch on them. Be great for the kids. They'll love it. And these are so good. They've definitely been cooked to some degree or another. Oh my God. I'm going to order 5 more if they're on sale. That's worth it. And if I have to, I will go out of my way, pull out my other dehydrator, the big one, that I put away in the box because I put it away. Because I wasn't going to use it until the apples dropped. That's when I was going to have the 2 big ones running. But when you find this kind of stuff on sale, that's when you want to buy it. That's why I'm kind of like sticking my neck out. Oh man, those are so good. Okay, so we're gonna get 5 more. I'm pretty sure I bought them on sale. I wouldn't have otherwise, because I already got in the fridge. I baked in the oven. I got in the dehydrator. Oh man, that's so good. And of course, just to top off that 1 jar with the corn, right? Because I don't want to get into those other ones. Okay, so 2 of those. That's easy. And then this time, instead of dehydrating them like this, which, by the way, I really like. Isn't that just beautiful? I really like that. These ones, I'm going to bake in the oven. I'm going to find that recipe. Just Google how to bake young soya bean for snack. And it will come up. Easy peasy. I don't even think you have to boil it. No, you just, whatever. As long as they cook for a little while. I just can't remember the temperature. Or what spice that was recommended. And then, of course, that's 5 bags of this at full price. But it was like only $2.57 a bag. And that will give me a jar anyway for when I make the kids nuts and bolts. But if you notice, I'm breaking away from the cereals here. We've got the sweet potato, whether homemade or store-bought, dehydrated. We'll have the shoestring French fries or French fries, whatever, right? Those will have to be cooked before I put them in with whatever's being done. Now, I was thinking, and I'll do this after everything else is all done when it comes to dehydrating and whatever, maybe next month. Andre and I, we were talking, and we were thinking that maybe what I should do, instead of putting them in raw from the bag, the potatoes that is, right? Maybe I should cook them first with very little grease and then dehydrate them. And in this way they're already cooked, so that when you bite them, they're dry and crunchy. Because I'm trying to get a shoestring. Right? That's what I want. So you'll have the shoestring crunchy potato, whether it's been pre-cooked or cooked after the fact. Okay, in this situation, they'll be cooked after the fact. We've got the sweet potato, whether homemade or already basically done for you, except you have to dehydrate it. We've got these in there, already baked in the oven. And these are high in nutrients as well. They have, oh, you see, it hurts to bend, man. Oh, I hate that when that happens. It's not fun getting old. No, I don't like it. Especially when you're going blind. Well, here, if you look online, you're going to pull up other things. Here they only list potassium, calcium, and iron in low doses, but there's other things that are also in these things, right? So that's like 3. And what are the calories? Potatoes are high in calories. what are the calorie count? Like, look, you know, I'm trying to like give them good calorie count, right? What's the calorie count? Where are we? I can't see nothing. Why can't I see? What am I missing here? Oh, here we go. Okay, so for 20 pieces is 160 calories. You got your vitamin A at 17%. That's good. And then, of course, your iron 2% and your calcium and your potassium at 5%. It's the vitamin A that sounds interesting, right? And then these ones, in terms of calories, a half a cup, 80 grams, is 100 calories, right? And then with the potatoes, however you're going to cook it, but if you deep fry them, you're going to come in with oil, which is going to pump up the calories. And, you know, depending on what type of oil you use and how you do it, could be very good, right? After the fact, either or. Here we got, for 15 pieces, 85 grams, 130 grams. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think so. And then you come in with the chickpea crackers, homemade chickpea, which comes in with other types of nutrients, and it has its own calorie count. That's good. And then you can sprinkle in a few Shreddies and, you know, a few Cheerios and maybe a couple of pretzels if you haven't already at home made them for yourself, right? Like, I'm just saying, right? That's what I'm trying to build in here by doing this stuff. For myself, for Amari, I'd obviously, anything I do here that's crunchy, I don't know, I'd have to soak it, grind it up, and find a way to try and get him to eat it. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that point yet. No. And then after that's all said and done, next month, I'll buy a few more jars for the potatoes. And probably for, I don't know. See, the potatoes, after they're dehydrated, I can vacuum seal those. I don't think that's going to be a problem. For, you know, I don't think so. I'm not too sure about the sweet potato because of, you know, it depends on how dry they get. Potato you can get really, really dry. So that would vacuum seal really good. The other beans, well, that's just going to be, by the time that 5 bags of those soybeans dry down, it's just going to be about a mason-sized jar or so, right? I mean, like, whatever. If I like, the problem with those ones is they have higher fat content in them, oil. They have a natural oil in them. So they tend to maybe go rancid over a long period of time. So that's why I'm kind of just stopping. I've got that one, plus I've got the 1-size-liter mason jar vacuum sealed, and I'm kind of stopping with those two, just in terms of straight from the bag into the dehydrator. And, you know, with vacuum sealing one, and which more than likely will probably keep it nice for years if I wanted it like that. And obviously I'll be cooking with those, right? Whereas the ones that are being baked, apparently they don't last for like years and years and years after you've done it and, you know, put it away for long-term storage, right? I would think, I don't know what would be better, baking or doing raw. You don't know until sometimes you come back 10 years later with an old jar of something that's been kicking around in your house for 10 years, and you open it up and you see what happened, to only learn that it's still fine. You don't know these things sometimes until you go through it. And with the way the world is going, this is important information, people. Because a lot of people are so conditioned just to throw things out because it's at its date. Like, for example, I mentioned, I think I tried to mention it. I don't know if I completely mentioned it. But downstairs I have a container this size. I know for a fact I have it down there. This size. I'll show you. I'm pretty sure. Now, keep in mind, I haven't been down there for over a year and a half because I got locked out of it. And I never even got a chance just to say goodbye. Kind of like the murder of my daughter. I never even got a chance to say goodbye. Both of them, really. You know? Well, it's the same thing with that food storage downstairs. Maybe that's why my son's taking Andre to the dentist, because he feels guilty. Because I said, well, I can't give you the money for it. Oh, don't worry, I'll pay for it. It's only $200. And I'm like, oh, well, it's not like I'm not going to pay. Like, I'll pay you back. But maybe I should just let him pay for a little while to compensate for what he did to me, really, considering all things said. He's trying to be, like, real nonchalant about it, like, acting like it didn't happen. Okay. Anyway, I know I had this size. You can see, right? That's my old school meat grinder. Oh man, full of sushis. I'm pretty sure it was in that. It was either in that, or it was in one of my big metal Christmas cans. But it was in that. I'm pretty sure, of nothing but sushi sheets. Mm-hmm. Nothing but sushi sheets. I couldn't get to it, people. I'm so hoping it's down there. Because it wouldn't go bad. Unless, of course, something went wrong with the manufacturing of it. As long as it's not moist. See, there's a moisture thing in there. I can feel it. Sometimes these moisture things fail. Right? Because I've had seaweed, those little thin sheets, in individual little packets. You have 10 packets. All 9 are good. They're old. They've been sitting around forever. You get into the 10th one, and for whatever reason, it's moist. There's something wrong with it. You just, ew. So you chuck it out. But for the most part, 9 out of 10, and we're talking long term. It's been sitting in the house forever, right? Bought them years ago. They're good, okay? So my sushi sheets should be downstairs. I won't know, though, until I get down there and do all that. My son said he's taking Andre to the dentist because he knows I'm busy. Yeah, if he only knew. Well, I'm sure he does. Well, that woman, that girl, Fabric, is still hanging on my clothesline. Go figure. Why? She's not like she's afraid of me. She ain't no fucking afraid of me. Oh, sorry, boo-boo. She not afraid of me. Hell, it's more like the other way around. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. I don't want it to go into a war. That's the thing. Like, you don't want to get me mad where I, like, lose it, and I don't lose it. I can get loud because of being a parent. I can stand my ground and, you know, and have one here and one there, and, you know, I can take it, but I don't ever remember, like, just going ballistic because I lost it. But if it came to that, yeah. Okay, and then I got two things of coffee. I'm gonna try and cut back on coffee as I'm introducing this to Amari. Of course, Andre's gonna drink too, and I'm gonna drink, and hopefully that will give me an incentive to cut back on coffee. Because I drink way too much coffee with way too much sugar. So they were on sale, $5 a jar. Right? I could have bought more, but I didn't. I actually should on $5 a jar, because I don't know how successful I'll be at not drinking coffee versus $8 a jar. I only bought 2. But maybe I'll buy 2 more just to be done with it and put it in my room and work on trying to, start, because as I'm giving to Amari, I'm going to, and I've got other teas around in my bedroom, and I've got pine needles to make tea with, and I've got spruce needles to make tea with. My raspberries grow leaves. I have raspberry tea here, right? What else? I've got some black tea down there. I've got that tea that used to grow next door. That's good for the chest, which would be good for me. So yeah, there's lots of things I want to do with tea. Just I'm busy all the time, people. So I suck on the, I suck on the coffee and the sugar. That's my go-between from spot to spot to spot to spot to spot. Right? Oh, what bad habits we weave. Right? Okay, and that was, oh man, these are good. I'm glad I did this video because I'm putting my order in. I don't care if my stick in my neck. I'll spend another $100 to get more tuna, more this. Because the tuna, 1 jug of milk. You know why is Walmart when you order online milk? I ordered milk. It came at $4.78. 100 comes with this puny little 2-liter milk. And you know I go through a lot of milk, right, people? And he said, what's this now? I said, I don't know. I guess they ran out and they sold me that, but I clicked it. I wasn't paying attention. I thought it was a 4-liter. Anyway, I'm going to order another one because it's a 4-liter this time. Whatever. They're good. Really, really good. They're so good. Honestly, I might order 10. It might be worth my effort. Because they have a little flavoring in them, right? Their own seasoning. I can taste it. Kids will gobble this up. And even if you dehydrate it, you can reconstitute it, and you can deep fry it after the fact, because you can deep fry these. Just place them on a paper towel to absorb the water. Throw them, my ear's ringing. Throw them in the deep fryer. You can deep fry them. The kids will just gobble them up. Or bake them in the oven. Oh, these are good. Like, really good. So I might get 10 of these. And if I have to, I'll bring out the big dehydrator. Because, just because you unthaw it, this can go in the fridge unthawed at the bottom shelf. Like in the fridge. Like the lower part, right? I mean, it can sit in the fridge for a day or 2, and it'll be fine. And then just as your dehydrator freeze up, just put in more. That's what I do with the vegetables and everything. Same thing with the potatoes. But these are really good. So all that, what I showed you, $224. And I saved, I think, $74 or $75 or something like that. Yeah. It was supposed to be a bit more, but they ran out of salmon. The sockeye salmon. So somebody's buying sockeye salmon. I'm not the only one. No. I'm not the only one. Okay. And then, of course, right? Oh man, these are good. I highly recommend you buy these. It's like cold candy. Only you know it's not candy. Okay, so this is my BitChute video picture. Right. Yeah, I have to just hold it for a minute. Here, we'll put these in front. Alright. What do you think? Pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to end it on this. Can you see? McCain's Super Fries, sweet potato plank. Cut fries. It's a pound. Okay? Now, for regular price, it's $5.97. I'm sorry. $4.97. Yeah, $4.97. Okay? Again, it's not anything I've ever bought. And I don't know, I don't think I would go as far as, I mean, I suppose if I really liked it and I wanted to build it in as a staple and it was convenient for me to do it this way, which it is, but it's more enticing when you're dropping $2 per bag, right? So I'm only paying $3 per pound, and I'm getting 10 pounds. You can see that, 10 pounds, right? Okay. It's worth it to me, people, because it tastes good, right? I'm sure it will dehydrate great, and yeah, I think it's going to be a success. So we're going to go here and we're going to see. So in this situation, I'm saving $20, where I only bought 4 bags because I didn't know what to expect. But right now, I'm feeling pretty good about what I'm buying. I just am. Okay, so for $50 almost, yeah, $50 is only costing me 30, and I get 10 pounds already pre-cut, pre-blanched, everything I like. My total bill for this situation with the tuna is $160.95. I'm saving $50. So now my bill is $110.95. And basically, we've got the sweet potato, high calorie count. I'm getting the cottage cheese because Andre now likes cottage cheese, right? And, I can use that for Mari. Even if this was dry, it wouldn't take much to reconstitute it, heat it up, and then, put in some butter or whatever, and then, mash up and blend up because he likes it more pureed, right? The cottage cheese. So I'm just saying, right? Okay, a normal jug of milk for $5.98 versus $4.79 for a 2-liter. I don't know how that one happened yesterday, but it did. Here we've got the white albacora, or whatever, core, the whole one, right? Of course, that's the big ticket item, right? And I may or may not do that for a few more times over the course of the next couple of months. I have to open up a can, see if I like it, and if I like it and it suits what my needs are, and of course I'm impressed with the nutrient value, then yeah, I might do that a few more times. Just like I'm sneaking in a few cans of sockeye salmon when I can find them, because I would suspect this will start to disappear as well, this fish. If the red sockeye salmon is starting to disappear, I would think that this one's going to start disappearing. So before it disappears, I'd rather just get it and, or maybe they'll change the lid and put a pull tab, and then I won't want it, for sure. And then here we've just got the low sodium flaked light tuna. Okay, I'm saving $10 there. It's worth my energy or time or money or whatever. Here we've got the cloverleaf light chunk tuna in water. Same thing, save $10. And then here we've got the cloverleaf light flaked light tuna skipjack in water, right? So one is low sodium with basically no salt, where the other one doesn't matter. You can buy 10 at a time. Save another. So I saved myself $50. That's my order basically. But that will be my last order because now I'm like really juggling with my bills. Yeah. But honestly, I wouldn't mind sneaking in one more order with just the tuna at 97 cents a can. Just the 3 of them. So maybe I'll use a different card or something. Maybe. Right? And then I'll have like 30 of each. Well, no. Yeah, because I got 3 different kinds there. I'll buy the more expensive one again next month. With my fingers crossed, hoping it will be there. Hoping it will be there. Might not be there next month. Sockeye salmon is going low, right? Alright, so that's... I'm pretty impressed with these sweet potatoes. If you can find them on rollback, Lucy, you got yourself a dehydrator, I'd say go for it. Yeah, I'd say go for it.